Hello everyone, welcome to my first ever podcast. I am Hala Sheikh Ali and today I am joined by Zainab Farhat via Zoom, just like everything is these days. However, that's not gonna stop us from moving forward. Today we will be discussing many topics regarding the visual communications department and some facts Zainab might share with us about the color theory and the golden ratio. Hello Zainab, thank you for joining us today and please introduce yourself to our audience.
Thanks for having me. My name is Zainab Farhat. I'm a Lebanese studio artist. I'm still currently a student at AUD and I'm majoring in visual communication.
What can you tell us about visual communications that really will stay in your heart?
Yeah, for sure. It was very insightful. Your undergraduate degree is mostly you exploring yourself as an artist and learning your style and what you're interested in and so yeah, I've learned a lot for sure, and I've tried so many different things because studio art itself is like a very general, not very general, but it has many different studies that we do. Like we do graphic design, we do photography, we do sculpture art, we do freehand drawing, performance art, installation art. So there's this huge there's a lot of opportunity for us to learn many different things from this major.
The term visual communication, it tells a story itself. Do you know about the color theory? Would you like to tell us what's do you know what's the science of color?
The color theory is like the arts 101 is the first thing you study once you start visual communication and studying art in general. So it's basically the color wheel, which starts with red, blue, and yellow. And then there's the secondary colors, which are green, orange, and purple. And then there's this, you keep mixing and mixing, you keep getting these colors, but the main three colors are red, yellow, and blue.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
So basically, you start learning these techniques to learn which colors to mix and which colors you should put next to each. You'd use complementary colors, and complementary colors are the two colors that are facing each other on the wheel, basically. Yeah, to make the painting stand out or whatever you're using it for. So they pop next to each other. And so on. It also teaches you how to perfectly mix the color that you're trying to get. And yeah, it's an important skill to start with as an artist.
So this is what you started with as an artist as well? You learned you understood the color wheel?
Yeah, that's something they teach us as soon as you start.
Okay. As I interviewed you before, you told me that you like to use the colors, the natural colors, for example, the blues and greens and such colors. Do you think that do you stick with these colors, for example, because you find a certain artist you're inspired by, or it's a personal preference, or you just experiment with these colors more than others?
I think it's mostly a personal preference. Once I get into it and start painting it, I'm way more attracted to blue and green. When the way they mix together on the canvas and the way they create these different shades, and I don't know. I think it's just a personal preference. Although, by the way, my favorite color is yellow.
Oh,
but
okay.
I find myself mostly attracted to blue and green when I'm painting these specific paintings with that technique.
Okay, nice. I didn't know that your favorite color was yellow. It's so different than what you paint.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting thing that you don't paint necessarily what your favorite color or your preferred color
Yeah.
always, but you choose to be attracted to it when painting. So nice. Okay, what about I'm pretty sure you know about the golden ratio, right?
Yeah.
What interesting information can you share with us about the golden ratio?
The golden ratio is basically the perfect way to divide your canvas or whatever it is, basically. And it's very like visually attractive to us because it's literally everywhere. It's on our body, like our knuckles, the way our knuckles are divided. The first two knuckles are basically the golden ratio is 1 to 1.618.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So the first two knuckles are 1.1618, and the third knuckle is the 1. Mm-hmm. So our fingers are actually divided into the golden ratio. Then our whole palm with our like forearm, that's also 1 to 1.165, and then our forearm to the so on. Like it's literally everywhere in nature.
The calculation is very specific, such that as well, like most even famous paintings follow it as well, right?
Yeah, because it's such an because it's everywhere and it's the way we're built, it's very visually like balancing to us, even though it's not one like in the middle. So it's almost like a no-no to like put your focal point in the middle. They still do that obviously for different reasons, but the proper ratio to follow is the golden ratio, because that's just like automatically it feels balanced once you use that ratio.
It's like a rule that everyone follows.
Yeah.
So do you use the golden ratio in your paintings? Did you try to use the golden ratio? Because there's a concept of the golden ratio in paintings that follows like I think 4 steps, in which you draw a simple square and then you like draw a line in the middle of the square, and then you place it and you place the compass, I think, and draw from edge to the other edge, and then you complete the rectangle, the whole thing.
When I created or recreated actually the sunset painting by Monet, it's the golden theory also applies to the horizon points, and that painting has that horizon point, which is following the golden ratio division basically.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So you kind of do the golden ratio horizontally, and then you place your horizon there, so it would look as well balanced with the whole composition together.
Yeah, it's a pleasing aesthetic. Like it gives. Yeah, it's really a nice concept, to be honest. Like whoever created it is a genius. Because it's all mathematics as well. Of course, he's a genius. So, I know that in Tarantino movies he uses that a lot. Like, and if you stop his movies at different scenes, you'll find the perfect the golden ratio. He's very specific about these. We learn about him in film school because he's one of the best film creators ever, and he's really specific in his composition of the camera and the people in the frame and everything. So it's also a form of art. So
of course.
Yeah. Okay, I want to ask you about going back to the concept of all of these things combined, the visual communication, combining these topics. Do you think that nowadays it's more focused on digital visual communications, or do you still find there's still the importance of painting and drawing, hand drawing, and physical hand drawing, not anything on screens, sadly, because even in this pandemic everything is digital now. What do you think about that? Like, do you think it's it's gonna be
Of
like
course,
this.
no, like hands-on art and physical art is still very important. And obviously, digital art now is more commercial, so it's a more like it's an easier thing to do to make more money.
True.
Like if you want to go, if you become a graphic designer, you can go to basically any company and get a job.
True, yeah.
So it's an easier way to make money if that's your goal. But of course, physical proper art is also important. We're talking about like visual communication. The other day we were discussing civic duty as an artist. So basically, what do you like? Basically, talking about our duty to the society as artists, and I think that's a very important topic. Like, because we were talking about how visual communication is literally talking through, or like communicating through
Artwork,
visual things, through like people would look at your art and they'll understand what you're trying to say without you saying anything, and that comes in place with your civic duty as an artist. So what are you trying to tell the people? And that's important. Like, what is your art representing? What is it trying to say? It plays a big role in basically your civic duty. So it's very interesting to, like, some people think that, no, like art is purely aesthetic, or it's just for, looking at, it's just pretty. But obviously artists have like literally used their art to communicate with the world.
Art pieces tell a story, so like it's not just for aesthetics. Obviously, aesthetics is a bonus.
Yeah.
And
of course.
Yeah, and it when you look at a painting, of course, it's like a picture. It's like you're looking through it, and you want to see what's happening in that picture, or it's like a memory.
Yeah.
So of course, I totally agree with you.
Even if it's something very personal, if you're talking about your own mental health, there's always someone that relates to it, and it might like raise awareness, like for people who don't understand this kind of
true
mental problem. Like, so it's obviously still very, very important, because it's still it's still a civic duty for artists to show the world and like inform the world, you can say, in just a beautiful way.
It is actually. Speaking of the mental health in art and how you how people, let's say you painted a painting and it was put in a gallery and many people came and saw that painting. Each person has his or her different view or meaning to that painting. As you said, mentally, we would relate to that painting differently, and it would like send a message that's not general, but it's like it relates to everyone. It might look to someone as chaos or depression or whatever meaning, and it might look to another person as happy, new, or whatever meaning. It can contradict ideas as well. So I find it very interesting that as well. It's really such a nice way to tell a story as well.
It's really it's also always nice to like see the different responses to your art.
Yeah.
There's also like specific pieces that actually have like this open-ended interpretation, where you can sees it in a different way depending on who they are and how they look at things, basically.
One final question I might ask you is, if I may ask you, is that do you see yourself moving to the digital visual communications industry more than the hands-on physical painting?
I enjoy doing the most is proper hands-on work.
Okay, so thank you so much, Zainab, for being with us today.
Thank you.
I was so happy to have this conversation with you, and I learned a lot. Do you have any advice you can give for our listeners, young artists or some artists that are constantly failing and maybe losing hope in continuing painting or visual communication in their way?
Yeah, for sure. Like the easiest thing is like keep on pursuing your dream. It's actually your dream. You should actually go and do it. And it's gonna be very hard at the beginning because you don't know, you still don't know your art, like your art persona or your personality. You're still discovering that, and it might seem like you've reached the end, but you didn't. If you keep exploring different media, different techniques, you will find yourself and your style.
Okay, thank you so much, Zainab, for joining us today.
Thank you.
And see you next time on on my podcast. Hopefully, we will discuss new topics as well. And see you later. Bye-bye.
See you.